Well, hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens. This is part 2 of a 2-part recap. If you're like, hey, wait a minute, I didn't hear part 1. Guys, it's because we put out a lot of recaps. Go back and listen to part 1, okay? It's before this one. Bye. Enjoy the show. Okay, so now we get to my personal favorite scene, dunking on Angela's properties. I love these because they're always hilarious to me. That Angela's like, I have 7 investment. 7? No, start with 1. Start with 1. Who can do 7? That's crazy. So they go check out this house, and Charles is with her. So she's like, "Do you like it, Charles?" He's like, "I would like if it was sold."
Because he's partially invested too. His money.
Yes. So
They're
this
not
house
bad properties, though.
What's that?
They're not bad properties.
They're not bad properties. Yeah, she's not doing a terrible job.
Yeah.
It's just. And I like that she's sharing it too, because I feel like a lot of housewives would be like, "Oh, I'm selling this for $5 million," and then you'd never see it again. But Angela's like, "This hurts."
And that's the thing. I think that's what people are liking about Angela. There's a level of authenticity that we're getting from her that we're not getting from anyone else on this show. And I think this is why Andy has compared her to Sheree, because although Sheree has lied and continues, there's this level of like awkwardness and like woo 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 to her that is just it's funny to watch, but Angel's not afraid to show it.
Yes. So they look it over. I mean, the house looks nice for the most part. It's a mess. Like it hasn't been cleaned up. It hasn't been finished right. And she's using like those paper blinds, and they're all. It looks like an animal went wild in there on the blinds. I don't know what's going on with the blinds. But she bought this for $338. She listed it for $499, and now it's back down to $338, which is really sad.
Yeah, I mean, look, anyone that's been in this business of buying and selling and renovating homes completely gets it. I don't think it's a big deal. I think she'll be fine. Maybe not taking on that many properties at the same time.
Yeah, it's just too many.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I like her. I'm rooting for her. So then we go to party setup. Okay, so Britt, we've skipped the scene with Britt and her husband, which was really funny because I think Britt had a conversation with her husband too, because he was trying to be so nice today. Usually her husband is just like, ugh. He has this look on his face like, God, shut up. But they did this scene in their bathrobes, and she's like, "Well, it's been a hard week, baby. I've been working up there naked." And he's like, "I can't wait for you to do it, babe. It's going to be amazing. And I'm going to have a polo classic party at the country club with hats." And he's like, "Great."
I completely forgot that was the scene.
Yeah. And he's pouring champagne in their bathroom in the robes. And he's like, "You're great. I can't even tell that you had Botox, babe." I'm like, who are you? Bring the moody one back.
I think he's trying to be better. You start to see what you saw in the early parts of the season, and you see how they changed throughout the season. This is them becoming a little bit more self-aware of the cameras and production telling them like, he's coming up a little, like he doesn't want to be here kind of thing.
Yeah. They're like, he looks like something smells in the room all the time.
Always.
He really does. It's so funny to me. So now we go to her country club polo party. She's like, I just want this to be a classy party. This is going to be classy and demure. And so they all, of course, show up to the country club in micro skirts and stilettos. Yes. Yeah. Yes, Atlanta. Love this show.
And let's go golfing.
In stilettos. I cannot believe they didn't have a bunch of country guys out there like, "Get those stilettos off my green."
I'm surprised about that too. That was the first thing I thought.
Yeah, I thought, they're going to have some grumpy old men up their asses in 2 seconds. But they didn't. They all dress crazy and go to this little party. And let's see what happens here. I guess the biggest things that happened here is one, Shamia tried to pull a cheap ass housewives trick and only feed her own table. So her plan was she was going to sit all the ladies at one table where they would have dinner, and then all the extras from Twitter or whatever, the Twitter people, as Nene would call them, would stand around just having, the cheapest champagne that Trader Joe's sells. Mm-hmm. And no one would notice they're not eating, but they accidentally set all the tables. And so now everybody thinks they're going to eat, but there's no food.
It was a lame event. It was definitely giving lame. But, production loves to do that too. Like, let's show it. Like, this is her first event. She doesn't know how to throw the event. She doesn't know how this works. She doesn't realize that she's going to look terrible on camera.
Yeah. Show it.
Yeah.
Of course, you got to show it. Well, the best part was showing all the people who weren't getting chicken. They were so pissed. Oh my God. They kept showing the ladies kind of digging in and no one wanted to eat. Portia's like, I'm going to put this in my purse. Like she didn't even want to eat this. I know. And everybody's sitting around them on their phones looking so pissed. And she's like, all right, I've got an announcement that they're naked. And she started going on, I wanted to feel like you're naked or whatever. And people are just looking at her like, fuck off. And then she announces that she's brought product for everybody that's eating, which leaves out the
just
poor people
for her
again.
special ladies. Awkward.
So the shade came here when she gives everybody their gift. And of course, it's dissed by people. You know, Shamia's like, oh my God, I opened the box and there was nothing in it. It was bare naked. There wasn't even tissue paper in there. The box was lonely.
Yeah, that was, again, Britt doesn't know. It feels like Britt had a desperate attempt to, like, I need to shop or share some sort of business if I'm going to be on this show. And I think that's what she did with this business. Like, oh, I'm going to promote this because she doesn't have the insurance company. I don't think her insurance school that she's launched was set up by then. I don't know if it's
learn to be a boss bitch for $150. Yes.
It's like, really?
So I think she just felt like she needed to promote something, and that's why. And again, she just doesn't know how to present. She doesn't know how to host. And then no one has food. You're giving out the wrong sizes. You gave an extra large to Angela to be
She gave an extra large to Angela. Oh no!
Do you remember what Angela looked like at the Pampered by Portia event? Angela looks good. Body.
Yes, Angela looks good. So she tried it.
Yeah.
But that didn't really work. But I thought it was really funny that she couldn't feed everybody. So they shaded her. Also, can I just say, I kind of miss the Housewives days where you didn't have to have a business promoting something. That's fine. What happened to like Vicky's? I go to the car wash all the time. That was Vicky's storyline in season 1. She's like, in Orange County, we go to the car wash every day.
And that's like, the thing. This is what Housewives has turned into. I wish production would lean away from that, because it's okay if you have interesting personalities. We don't need them to be launching a business. Literally this season, we see Drew and Shamia launching music. And I'm like, okay, pick one. Because I've seen them do that with other reality shows. If someone has a similar storyline, they're like, okay, we're not going to show that or highlight that. Yeah. And it just feels like overkill. It feels desperate. It feels like a bunch of fans that are now on reality television, like, oh, I want to launch a business. I want to be the next Bethany Frankel. Well, you're not going to be.
I'm okay with you just being bored housewives or whatever, just bored people with money starting fights because you're bored.
Yeah.
That's what I liked about it. You know, we don't need to all go out there and go get them.
No.
Just stay home and take them.
Be rich.
Just take
spend your money.
Sit down. So Angela sees her extra large and she's like, maybe she got these confused with the size of her toothbrush for her big ass mouth. So then we get to find out. Portia asks Britt what her inspiration is for this line. And Britt's like,
it's when I got a BBL.
I was like, oh no. Shapewear inspired by your first BBL.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you remember at the Nashville, everyone was pointing out like, oh, she's got a BBL when she was in the bathing suit. I was like, yeah, at least she's open about it.
She's got a BBL. It's a very big BBL. Kenya still won't admit to hers, and Kenya's looks crazy.
Kenya says it's all accommodating to her stallion booty work.
Yes, it's all crunches, or not crunches, squats. What do you squat? You could lift a Mack truck. Get out of here. It's not squats. So she was very inspired by her BBL because when she started her insurance company, she really wanted to do it, but it wasn't the right time. But then her and her girlfriends went and had an out-of-town party, and it was a plastic surgery party where they just all went and got surgeries together.
Yeah.
The fuck kind of friends are those, and where can I find them?
No. I don't want those types of friends because that says to me, we're getting bootleg surgery. I'm not trying to get bootleg surgery. Give me Kris Jenner's surgeon, please. And thank you. I think we've discovered him. I think I discovered him actually today. I'm not giving out his name. Yes.
Really?
I'm a gatekeeper.
No, I need his name. I need to get my lids done.
I heard he's very particular. Apparently he did Brad Pitt, Demi Moore, and who else had some good surgery recently? Oh,
Demi Moore looks good. Yeah.
Oh, she looks
Brad
really
Pitt
good.
still looks good. But I mean, that's kind of unfair. Those are the most beautiful people in the world. It's not like
did
they
you
ever
see
looked
Brad
bad.
Pitt before though? He was the age was starting to age. The milk was.
Oh, really?
Yeah, come on.
Oh, I didn't even know. I don't think I have seen him.
Some videos, but he looks fantastic.
I read about his fathering skills.
Oh,
all the time. Those
or
are
lack thereof.
Yeah, that's rough. Who knew? Who knew a really hot guy with nothing going for him except his hotness and money would turn out to be an asshole?
I mean, Jennifer Aniston could have told you.
Yeah, Jennifer. Yeah, but that whole thing was weird too. I'm sorry, there's so many tangents in this podcast, but I remember back in the day. By the way, why are they still on magazine covers? Like, do people really still care what Jennifer Aniston is doing every day? She's still on the grocery store tabloids every day. Really? So anyway, back then, I remember Jennifer saying in an interview, I don't, whatever this is with Brad is to me, I only want him to be with me if he wants to be with me. And if he doesn't want to be with me, then I'm glad he's with somebody else. And then he went with Angelina Jolie. I was always like, you shouldn't say that. You're supposed to say, if you ever leave me, I'm cutting your dick off and I'm slashing you down the middle of your moneymaker, your face. That's it.
But look what happened. He ended up with Angelina, and they have these beautiful children that he doesn't speak to anymore.
Yeah. Now, instead of just having Jennifer Aniston who resents you, you've got Angelina and 6 children that hate you.
Oh. And how many years? Because they finalized their divorce recently, right?
Oh, gosh, I don't know. He probably got the facial surgery before the divorce even happened.
I would
he was
hope
probably onto his next face before the first divorce was even I don't know, but I want lids done. Okay, text me that name.
Okay.
Like I could afford Kris Jenner's. I'll be like, can I trade you for a used Vespa?
and I heard the guy is very particular on who he actually does. I'm like, oh, well, start saving our coins from now.
I want whoever did Chloe, because I think Chloe looks like a totally different human being, and she gets criticized for that a lot. They're like, she got a head transplant, and I'm like, what's the number?
It's probably the same guy.
No, probably. I'm in.
No.
Okay, so they start talking about what surgery they would want, and Shamia wants to get her back fat sucked out. And
I saw my friend get her back fat sucked out like 20 years ago, and I said I could never do it. Women are special. I don't know how they go through these surgeries, and then after like the recovery, it's like hell. I get like a hangnail. I'm like, out. I can't. I don't know what it is.
We're pussies because we're men. That's how it is. It's like when a woman gives birth to like 5 children and she's back to work, and then a man gets a cold, and we're like, I can't do it. I need my mommy. Yeah, I'm the same way. But did her skin really hurt for like years after her back fat surgery, or did it?
Well, I don't recall that part. I just remember I can literally still see her coming out of the surgery just for she was out of it. And then she had to wear this like garment for like how many days? I was like, I don't know how you do it. And the thing is with that, you could gain the weight back and it might show up as a hump on the back of you. Yes. I got a cousin where that happened too. Oop, I shouldn't have said that. It's true.
It's like when you get the Botox wherever to stop your sweating, and then you start sweating in other places. So you'll be sweating out your wiener hole or whatever.
Really?
Like you can't. Yeah, you'll sweat other places, like random places. Not really your wiener hole, but like you're like, well, I've got sweaty elbows now. Start coming out. It's got to come out somewhere.
That's why I say God says, don't mess with anything in your body. Because I was thinking about it. I was like, you know what? I always sweat, especially when I'm in the studio. I'm like, I don't want those sweat marks. But now I'm like, now you said that, I don't be sweating somewhere else.
Yeah, you'll be sweating somewhere else. So don't do it. But that, I don't know. I want them to find like clips that they can just put me on my stomach, put clips on my back, and lift me like in one of those torture videos, and then just sew me up. Just sew it all the way from the bottom to the top.
I don't think I can make it through the recovery of that.
Well, put me in an induced coma. You know how they have those?
For the entire recovery?
I'll just be like, see you guys in a couple of years. I'll be dead for a while. And just come back looking sweet with like a big seam up the back of my body.
I like cry when I literally just went to my esthetician. I still got some red marks on my face from my esthetician. Even that alone, I'm like, this is a lot. I don't know if I can do this.
You know who doesn't cry? People in comas. So I'm just saying, mini coma, induce that.
But do we know that though?
That people don't cry in comas?
You're not suffering even though you're in a coma?
Well, they could be suffering, but no one has to hear about it. All right. So we talk about all of this bare naked stuff. What they're really missing here is a storyline of Portia getting pissed off that she stole her name, like in Tipsy Girl versus Skinny Girl on New York. We really need that. And Portia did give her a little shade when asked about it, but I need more from that.
Yeah, Portia was like, Go Naked's been around for 10 plus years. And I mean, based on what I've seen of the Go Naked hair, it actually looks good. I don't know if the girls are really buying Go Naked hair like that. I'm going to have to ask. I'll get back. I'll report back.
I don't know. It's hard for me to judge because I've seen Dr. Heavenly's wigs. So that's pretty high quality.
Oh, really? Oh, sure.
Everything else pales in comparison.
Yeah. Okay. Everything pales in comparison to those Heavenly wigs.
Dr. Heavenly.
It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial.
Okay, so now we get some husband action. So Angela really awkwardly goes, okay, everybody, well, Charles doesn't have a side baby. And they're like, what? Charles is like, oh, Jesus. Yeah, Charles is like, oh, Jesus Christ. It's like, I finally got Charles here, and now I'm going to put him on the spot. And Britt's like, okay, well.
And also, I'm not one of Charles's whores.
I was so confused by that. I was like, she never said you were one of his whores. She called you a whore.
Yeah, I didn't think she ever said you could be one of his. Like, why does she even have to flatter herself in the diss? She didn't say that, ma'am. Thank you for saying that, because I didn't think so either, but I was too lazy to go back and look at the episode.
No, I literally what they flash back in this episode, what she said. She called her, you are a whore. And again, we're watching an edited show, so who knows what was said in that moment. A lot more could have been said, but based on what we saw, she called you a whore.
Yeah, thank you. So he's like, what are you talking about? I don't have a whore. And she goes, oh, well, she said that I could be one of your whores. And he's like, no. And she goes, well, I'm trying to be funny. He's like, that's not funny. Yeah. I felt like Charles was just like, that's not funny. And the salad sucks. Have you seen one person even eat this salad? I'm surprised they didn't just start throwing the salad to the poor people.
the poor people attending, Lord have mercy. Yeah. And they're all just reacting to like, what is going on right now?
Yeah. So then the fight moves on. So they've decided they're going to make up. So now people are like, should we make up with Drew too while we're at the country club? So Shamia and Drew start going on about Shamia being called the lapdog and that whole thing, which is, I'm tired of this fight. What is this, episode 10?
Episode 12.
Oh my gosh.
We're way past halfway through the season.
So Drew said, well, Portia shouldn't be bad about the music because I'll make so much money with this music, it could pay for Portia's college. I don't even think it was that bad. Did you?
When she initially said, I was like, I don't think you should say something like that. But the way she said it was kind of funny.
I thought she just meant she'll benefit from the money if she's getting money from Dennis. I didn't take it as that big of a deal.
And she said in the after show, Dennis had said something similar to that. And that's why she said that. So I don't think it was enough for Shamia to go bring it back to Portia like she said it in such a negative way.
Yeah.
But I also
especially when the whole internet's kind of saying what Drew says. No offense. But, the whole internet's been saying that for a long time. But I can understand that that's probably what makes her a little more sensitive to it, too,
I think she also was dragging out any sort of beef that she could have with Drew. Again, something else is going on with Portia.
They just need to move it along. Also, I need Drew to find out that they went out with Ralph.
Yeah.
Why hasn't that become a thing? Is that going to become a thing on the trip?
The reunion.
No, I need it now. You guys finally had something good happen. Do it now.
Or maybe during the trip. Maybe during the trip, they're going to bring it up. That they had dinner with Ralph, which was clearly, again, Shami, you don't want to be called a lapdog, but that was clearly lapdog behavior. Ralph is going to you for podcast advice because you guys had a podcast together, which I think had like 2 episodes.
I was going to say, was that an actual podcast or were they just guesting on somebody else's podcast? Because she's like, I can do it.
YouTube channel.
I mean, come on. She's like, I can go to lunch with him. We were in business together. We've done a podcast.
And then Portia magically shows up. I didn't know he was going to be here. Y'all think we're dumb?
It's crazy.
So then, speaking of, do you think you're dumb? Drew's label. So Drew's going on and on about this label that she signed with. Isn't this just like a thing that you sign up for on the internet?
Well, I think the Hot Dog King has a hot dog label, music label. And that's why they were having this meeting for her to sign contracts with the lawyer, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, so
but in this day and age, you don't really need a label to put out music, especially. I mean, I have to say the project is good. I'm never going to take away from the project. I think
it is good. Yeah,
it's a good project. But again, I don't think she needed a label to put out this music, especially she's in Atlanta. It's 2025. You really don't need a label.
It's just so Drew to be like, I'm having a party for my label signing. And then we looked up the label because we were curious. And, I love the Google.
Yes.
As you've seen. So we looked it up and it was like, sign up now to be part of this label. And it was one of those like that distributes your music, this kind of that does it for a monthly fee or whatever.
Yeah, you don't need.
But I don't know. Maybe she could have a contract within that company. I mean, I don't know.
And hadn't catapulted her music. Like I said, it's a good album. It's a good project, but you signing with Dennis hasn't catapulted you to be on the Big Tigger show where your song is being played. You're not on the charts. Sorry.
Well, she was right. She was on number 5 on Apple.
Well, the Apple. iTunes. I'm talking about Billboard.
Oh yeah, I'm a podcaster. I just look at Apple. So.
Which is good. No, don't get me wrong. It's good. And like I said, the project is good and I'm rooting for Drew, but I'm also realistic. Like, girl, there's a lot of work that you could be doing if you're going to sign to I have a music background for those that don't know. So if you're going to sign to a record label, it's got to be worth it. It's going to align you with certain producers, align you for certain opportunities. It's going to get you on the music charts.
Yeah.
It hasn't really done that. Yes, iTunes is fantastic, but that's off the strength of her name and being on Real Housewives of Atlanta. That's not going to open up doors when it comes to the actual industry that doesn't want to really welcome in reality stars.
Okay, yeah, I got you. Because I was wondering, why is she renting out this WeWork to pretend she's signing it? Like, is it an actual label? Because she made it sound like she was at the label, but then she was with her lawyer, and then she had to have a call with Dennis to clear up that he never said that he was fucking her in exchange for studio space.
Yeah.
So
but
that's
that's
also
true.
crazy.
And I get it. People are like, she doesn't lie about a lot, but she lies a lot. There's a lot of like pretend that we get from Drew. And I also didn't understand why is your road manager there? Is that your manager? But they said road manager. Like, are we on tour?
I don't know. So much of Drew just confuses me. And then she signed the paper, but I don't know what she was signing.
Neither does she.
I still don't know what she was signing. She was signing like her DoorDash tip. I don't know what it was. But she started jumping around and screaming. And then we get the scene some of us have been waiting for. The return of Phaedra. Phaedra's back. And she's ready to fuck some shit up. So we had a Phaedra and Portia scene where they were also dancing around together with champagne and laughing. But I bought it because, I don't know, they've had more than a decade, or they've had like a decade to back it up or whatever.
But have they really even been around each other? I've seen Portia with Candy more than I've ever seen. I have never even seen her with Phaedra since the show ended with them.
I don't know, but today I went to a housewarming thing, and it was for my old boss that I used to wait tables at this Moroccan restaurant for like 10 years. And it was the waiters, like me and these 3 girls, and we were like best friends. Like we just saw each other. So I think like Housewives is probably like waiting tables where you see each other and you're like, do you remember that old fucker who used to come in and make us get extra butter? Like, no one gets me like you guys.
But I would have expected at least maybe once we would have seen Portia and Phaedra together, especially because they're in these worlds.
Yes.
And we just literally saw them come together recently for this show. So
and they were both doing the housewife talk around like, oh gosh, we've stayed friends. Well, I mean, we're kind of friends. Okay, well,
and it's also
we do
Atlanta,
see
too.
each other all the time. She's like, but you've never been to this house, right? Well, you've been there for a while, Phaedra.
And the thing is, too, it's Atlanta. You see, these people see each other all the time. So it's kind of shocking that we haven't seen like them in photos or anything like that in the last 10 years.
Yeah. Well, maybe they weren't taking them together because they probably get slammed every time they post a picture together in the past. Ever since Phaedra left.
They don't care. They
don't think they care?
No, and Phaedra still hasn't even apologized.
Did she not apologize?
No.
Really?
No.
Wow. So even now she's saying like, well, and we see the clips of, they didn't say, well, yeah, I guess they did say what she said.
Yeah.
Which was they wanted to drug Portia and take her to a sextant, which was the craziest thing.
Yeah.
That was the craziest storyline anyway. It was the dumbest thing ever. Like, oh, okay, Candy and Todd really want to drug you. And then that's turned into people saying that they were calling Candy a rapist. And I was like, well, a wanting to rape. I mean, I don't know. That whole thing was so problematic. So then, of course, she doesn't even go into the whole thing. She's just like, well, when I was a real housewife, the way that ended wasn't good. But she without sin be the first to cast a stone.
Well, here's the thing with Phaedra. She is great television, but I feel like in this particular world of where you have to share your life, especially if you're going to be full-time, if she was a friend of, I think it would probably work. But she's coming in. This is the last 2 weeks of filming that she's coming in.
Oh, really? Is that late? So they just have the trip and then that's it?
Basically.
Oh, wow.
So there's not going to be a lot that Phaedra's going to necessarily bring. If anything, Cynthia should have been full time. She's been here since the beginning of the season, and she's hosting parties and doing all these different things and trying to navigate these different battles that's happening within the group. It doesn't necessarily make sense to me. Maybe next season, because based on what Andy has said, it looks like Phaedra is formally back on Real Housewives of Atlanta until further notice.
Well, it looks like she's going to fuck things up. And I thought, look, here comes Phaedra. She's got a chance to redeem herself. Let's watch her be nice for a few episodes. Oh, nope. Yeah. The first thing she says, she's like, that Kelly, she's just so tiny. Yeah. She's giving garden gnome. And I love small people. It's my fetish. Remember my Christmas party when I had all those tiny little people? And then we see her inviting like people. She's like, you are still so problematic. How is this your first monologue back on the show? What is wrong with you?
A lot is wrong with her. And then she had some interesting things to say about Britt Edie or Edie Britt, as she called her.
Yeah, she said Britt E, I think. And she said, yes, she's a woman about town, a woman about the city and countries. She's got more bodies than Willie, they say. And I was like, leave Willie Nelson out of this. But then they showed that it was Willie the Undertaker.
Yes.
So see, that's the thing about Phaedra I like. She's still got that funeral business.
She's got a lot of it. She's still got the law firm.
Yeah.
I say that with a question mark.
Law firm, parentheses, question mark. So I think that kind of is Phaedra's real life. I think that she's just kind of comes off as a phony, but I mean, I don't know. Like, like I said, some people are just like that. I don't know what you need her to show. I mean, I want to see the funeral business.
I just need you to show your life. And clearly, I feel she's very much like Portia. She's not going to. She's only going to show us as much. And I already knew that based off of when she was on Ultimate Girls Trip and they were trying to bring up the stuff of the past. And she was just not. She came on Married to Medicine talking about she was dating a doctor. We never got to see the doctor. We saw a cartoon character. So I just feel like even when we're supposed to get something from her, we never get there. And it's just like, okay, so what are you here? Okay, if you're going to give us commentary on the friends, okay, be a friend of. That's all we need. I don't need to see you slobbing down Shake, who's really dating some other woman in Atlanta. So that's
is that what's happening?
Yeah, that's the word on the street. That man.
Oh, so she's the other woman?
I think she's paying him allegedly.
Oh, okay. Well, she's got the money. Yeah, I mean, I think is that the guy that was on Married to Medicine?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, if he's paid, he does a good job. Like, he still kind of stands up for her and stuff. That's a good hoe.
Who is this hoe?
Where do I find a hoe like that? That's a good hoe. So she's getting messy about Britt and basically slut-shaming Britt, and then kind of getting some little people commentary in there. And then she's saying, oh, and then I hear Charles Oakley has a wife now. So she's coming back to cause some shit. And I like it because, like, obviously I respect your opinion. I like when people are funny. So if they're funny, then I forgive, you know? So as long as Phaedra can make me laugh, then I'm good. And I felt like this scene, I was like, oh God, it's kind of back to life right now. Cause I think
it came too late. Like
what's that?
It came too late in the episode.
It did come too late. Yeah, I agree. But we see scenes like the country club scene, and I think that's kind of the main problem with Atlanta. We see them all trying, which is good because they're making an effort, which is a lot more than you can say for some shows. Right. But it's just, Truly. But it's just not really gelling. Like they tried to start maybe 3 or 4 different fights at that country club scene, and they just weren't. It's like they fought about him too many times, or they just don't know each other well enough, or they just don't care about each other enough to really fight. Yeah. And so it was nice to see people. It was nice to at least laugh, because I was laughing my ass. Like, Phaedra's so wrong. Yeah.
I want to mention though, when Phaedra mentioned that that Charles Oakley, he's married, like it's a question mark. I think that would land if Wendy Williams did not talk about Angela Oakley on her nationally syndicated daytime talk show. We all knew that Charles Oakley was married. It'd be different if we didn't know that. Like there wasn't this big drama that was in all the tabloids and on TV. Yeah. And now it's coming up again. People know that he's married to Angela Oakley. Does he claim her on television? Well, that's a whole other thing.
Well, I'm wondering if Phaedra's going to bring up that she left him or they were not together for a while. Because that's so Phaedra to be like, oh, he had a wife? I thought that they broke up in the time he needed her the most, or whatever, Phaedra will pull some bullshit like that.
All of that drama we saw in the mid-season trailer that happens at that group event where that random man is in the middle of it.
Well, then she's doing her damn job, which, people, and I, read online, people are so pissed that they're bringing Phaedra back. But if she's going to make it good, even for 2 episodes, like I will take a gold level couple of episodes of Atlanta.
I'm open to it because I do believe that at some particular point we have to be able to move forward. I don't feel like someone needs to be punished for forever. I think it's the same season though of firing Kenya for what she did. Do you bring back someone that did what Phaedra did? I think that's where fans are sort of like that doesn't make sense. But I also see a lot of people that are excited for Phaedra to return.
Let's finish with this, and I'm sure you've given this opinion so many times, but I haven't heard it yet. So what are your thoughts on the Kenya ordeal?
Oh my gosh. I'm surprised that they kept it in because it happened so early in the season. Mm-hmm. But the fact that they kept it in, and I said this before the season started airing, I said, the fact that they're keeping this in says to me the season wasn't that great. Because this happened the first 3 weeks of filming. They filmed for several months. Mm-hmm. I was like, okay, if you're focusing on that says to me everything else that you had during the season wasn't hitting. And then Phaedra comes in at the end, says to me the season was not hitting. And based on what we've seen in these first 12 episodes, the most interesting episodes were like those first 5 episodes with Kenya there. And I think it stood out to me. And I'm not like Team Twirl or Team anyone, Team me. I don't know these people. I don't care to know these people. But the thing for me is they had Kenya there without the confessionals, and that stood out to me. And it's just like, okay, Kenya's there, and we kind of know Kenya would be funny and quirky and give us something in those confessionals, and it just felt empty. So sort of like, why give us that and then not give us everything? Yeah. And now she's not going to be at the reunion.
I know. Oh my God.
That doesn't make sense. And she was a part of the season. Like we were supposed to get the narrative from Britt Eady.
Oh my God. Yeah, that whole thing. We're going to get some Brit tears and like, no one is. It's like played out. I'm tired of it. But, sometimes with new things, it's like with a first season, sometimes it's like, this sucks. Real Salt Lake City was the last one, I think, that was new, right? Like totally. Yeah. Well, New York. Yeah. But like totally new, I think, was Salt Lake City. And the first year I thought, this is fun. Like, this is funny because it's so different. But it was rough. And then to see what it became later, so you got to give them time. But sometimes it doesn't work. Like New York didn't work. That second season tanked. And then, but hopefully by next year, they'll, really have it to be firing all cylinders. But, I support the reboot for the most part. I've just, come on, Phaedra. Bring it around in the end, Phaedra.
I think it's important. I mean, I think what we saw with Miami showed that it worked. But I think what was great about Miami was that they had a period of time where they weren't on the air. So even the people that were a part of it originally, we hadn't seen their lives in a very long time. They haven't been on television in a long time. I think it becomes a thing when people are on television for so long that they start self-producing. They start becoming a character instead of just being real. And
now they're already kind of doing it being new, like that's kind of what we're saying about Kelly and Shamia. So who knows? But this was great. Thank you so much for coming and spending so much time with me. I really kept you here forever. I didn't even look at that clock.
This is actually light. My Real Housewives of Atlanta recaps goes for like 2.5 hours.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, this is great. Thank you so much for being here. Everybody, thanks for being here. Go check out Kempire on his YouTube channel and also go see Kempire live this summer. Philly, July 10th, Atlanta, August 5th, DC, August 22nd, New York City, September 12th. Go to Linktree/The Kempire for ticket links. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'll talk to you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King. It's always a party on Allison Block.
Our way is the Amber way.
It's the Foster and the Furious. It's Amanda Foster.
She can run my country. It's Angie McGovern.
It's always automatic with Ashley Auto. Put your hands together for Carly Clapp.
Get on the right foot with Chrissy Offit.
She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela Etchels.
We never miss her call. It's Diane Call.
Aaron McNicholas. She don't miss no trickolas.
Hava Nagila Weber.
You'll never hide from Heidi Eleanor Jones. I go, you go, we all go for Hugo. Jamie. She has no last namey.
She's our kind of mess. It's Jennifer Messer.
Sipped some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
She's our favorite streamer, Caroline Peacock.
Kristen the Piston Anderson. Get a bee in your bonnet with Lacey B.
Bringing the funk, it's Leslie Plunkett.
She gets an A from us. It's Lindsay D.
Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino.
Fresh as a daisy, it's Maisie McHenry. We love her on the rocks. It's Melissa Cox.
Megan Berg. You can't have a burger without the Berg.
This is Livin' with Michelle Vivian.
I love ya, Olivia Williamson. Tastier than Flanderson, it's Rachel Manderson.
She sure is swell, it's Raquel.
Yes, we canna, it's Savannah.
Cast a spell with Shannon Spellman. Let's share with Sharon Eldridge. The Bay Area Betches. Betches.
And our super premium sponsors.
She's VVIP, it's Amanda V. Can't lose when you're with Amy Baldwin.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Let's go into the woods with Guy Tubbs.
Who, what, why, where, and Gwen Pentland.
It's our queen, it's Queen Laifah.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall.
Know your worth with Jason Kurth.
Hail the Cork Master, the Master of the Cork, Jennifer Corcoran. We got our wish, it's Jen Plish. She's not harsh, she's Jill Hirsch. She's a little bit loony. Junie. My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo.
She gets an A, it's Kelly B.
We love him madly, it's Kyle Pod Shadley. We're ride or die for Lisa Ryder Barron. She's a whiz, it's Liz Sarthy. Always killing it, it's Lola Alkalani.
The incredible edible Matthews sisters.
She eases our woes, it's Melissa St. Rose.
We're on the floor with Molly Dorset. There's a chance of meatballs, it's Rebecca Cloud.
She's the queen bee, it's Sarah Lemke. Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
It's always a good time when you're wasting time with Bravo. She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.